Hello, Star Family. We only have 48 minutes and 20 seconds together today, so I have to get going because I have 5 readings to do in that amount of time. So, welcome. Today in real time is May 13th, 2024. 13 is the number of the goddess. Blessed divine feminine energy. Goddess bless the mothers. Yesterday in America, it was Mother's Day. And I know Mother's Day hits different for everybody, so I tried to be a little lighter on Lula's life, and I didn't really do much on here on the magical medium, but I thought it was kind of interesting because I have such a appreciate. Oh, I'm looking at the Robin Bird right now. Hi, Robin Bird. Hi, Jesus. Because today we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about Christ consciousness, gratitude. We're going to be doing one reading for the collective, and then I'm going to have 4 separate readings. There'll be timestamps below. And I don't know, like I said before, I'm not sure how this is going to go or what's going to happen or why, or I'm just going with the flow. I do what spirit calls me to do. So, but yeah, so I was kind of surprised with the divine feminine energy, that I wouldn't do something special for Mother's Day, but I think because I'm still going through my own stuff in my personal life with my Earth Mother, I'm still working through a lot of energies. As I look up, I just realized in my bookcase, love is down. I have this heavy metal, sign. It's like wrought iron and it says love. And I had to set it down because I needed something underneath it and I didn't want it to fall and break the glass. So I just realized that that's down. And that's what Spirit wanted to talk about. That's what Jesus wanted to talk about. Because our theme for this reading is World on Fire by Dolly Parton. And 4 songs came to me this morning right before I started this to do these separate readings. So we're basically going to have messages for the collective about the world on fire and all that. And then we're going to have 4 separate readings. And these are them. And they are: number 1, the wild one; number 2, the wedding; number 3, do you hear what I hear; and number 4, what child is this? It was very interesting to me that I'd only listened to 7 songs, and 2 out of the 7 songs on shuffle were Christmas songs. Very interesting. So, right? Like what? Yeah. So we're gonna jump into these messages right now. I feel like there's something else they want me to say. Yeah, it's basically about, it's just Divine Feminine Day. It's about having gratitude for the divine feminine energy. I mean, none of us would be here without our mothers. No matter if you like or do not like your mother, talk to your mother has passed, whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter, because in this world, we are birthed into this world gestated by, a mother energy. Whether you're an animal, whether you're a human, it doesn't matter. By the way, speaking of divine feminine energy, so this past weekend, I moved to this really cute little port town, little coastal town in Washington. And I don't know if it's temporary or what's going to happen, but we've only been here about 6 weeks, and we really like it. We really like the people and the energy. And I finally went to the farmer's market, which I've been wanting to go to forever. I finally did that. I'm trying to get situated. Oh, my back. I'm so sorry. Just like all of a sudden, I'm just feeling like, you feeling like that too, this kind of uneasy energy. Um, and long story short, I had a wonderful time. I met a lot of magical creatures. And then I was drawn into this store called Second Child. So if you're ever in Port Townsend, please go to Second Child, because it's a really cool place. And the owner, Whitney, is really amazing. And she had, it's a cool store. It's like wine, and then she does tastings and plants. But then her friend has like a vintage store inside there, like a pop-up shop, and that's where I got this. So this is my new beauty, this Lapis Lazuli. And those of you who've been with me a long time may remember that one of the first crystals that was ever gifted to me was this gorgeous big Apopholite by my first shaman, and her name was Penelope. And then I was visiting family, and one of my second cousins, I was drawn to give it to her. And I was devastated because I was like, no, Penelope. And she's like, I'll come back. She told me she'd come back, but I didn't understand or whatever. But there was just something, this was in the case. And I'm like, I had to have it. And then it was like, I was hemming and hawing, and she goes, that's so weird. She's so good about pricing everything. I can't believe there's not a price on it. And so she called her friend, it was called Witchy Cowgirl or something like that. I'm like, of course. And she gave me a price I couldn't you know, I just couldn't. I had to get it. And Alder was like, yeah. And our 9-year anniversary is in a few weeks, or no, next or this Saturday. So he was just like, no, he's like, that's like, you know, treat yourself. So yeah, so that is that. And I really just wanted to share this with you guys because the reason why I was drawn to it was when I got home yesterday, Penelope came to me in the bracelet after I washed it. Actually, no, today's Monday. So I washed it and then I set it with my crystals and stuff. And then yesterday I went to pick it up and I'm like, I heard her voice. I just felt her and I was like, Penelope is back. So Penelope is back and I'm very, 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 very excited. I know that she's just an energy and an entity. She's probably been with me forever, but to have her come back in a piece of jewelry just meant a lot to me. And so I thought I'd be a little more glittery and be more fun today. So let's jump into it. But yeah, that place, it's so cute. It's called Second Child. And I was like, what a great name. And then also just like super cute. And just like I walked in and I go, I don't know what this is, but I love it. Like, I can't tell what store this is because there was like wine and like there was people and there was like a bar and there was like a wine tasting going on. And then there was all these really cool plants and then there was vintage clothes. And I'm like, have I just found Nirvana? I was like, I don't drink anymore, but anyway, it was really fun. I met 2 really cool witchy women in there. And anyway, so if you're in Port Townsend, give Whitney some love, and it's called Second Child. Okay, with that being said, let's jump into this reading. World on Fire. What messages do we have from the Divine Feminine Spirit? Because that's what it was, is I felt that it was like, not that I was dissing Mother's Day or being like, you know, fuck my mom because I don't talk to her anymore. No, I love my mother. I worship and honor her. I lived inside of her. I wouldn't be here without her, you know. But there's a lot of things going on the planet. Also, this broke this morning and I was going to throw it away and Spirit told me not to. And I don't know, like there's like some scrying shit going on. But right here, like I saw a bat and I had done this shorts for the bat spirit medicine on Lula's life like a long time ago, and Spirit had me post it today. So if they remind me, I will put a link below to that, but you may want to watch that because it's about change and transformation. So you may just even want to work with the bat spirit medicine after this reading. Okay, so as you know, this is what did she say? Hold on one second. I just wanted to say it right. So she has the healthy thought and then the unhealthy thought. So our first card today is Healing Sadness number 7. I don't have great lighting. It doesn't really matter. It's just words anyway. If they call me to, I'll put them in the community section. Always look in the community section for extra pearls from Spirit on all my channels and Bubba's. So Healing Sadness number 7. So the unhealthy thought is, God has it in for me. The universe doesn't hear my voice. Oh, I know this one. Especially right now with the world on fire, right? So gratitude and Christ consciousness. That's what they want us to work on, is gratitude and Christ consciousness. Because even when we're in the lulls and we feel like the whole world is against us, we're either in a holding pattern for a reason, or we're in a transformational holding pattern for a reason. But you know, there's always a reason why. There's this really great song by Garth Brooks called Unanswered Prayers. If you haven't heard it, please listen to it. The words are perfect, you know, and his story is basically that he talks about how he was in love with his high school sweetheart, I believe. I don't remember exactly. And that he wanted to marry her and be with her, but he ended up being with someone else, and he runs into her years later at a local football game, and he's like, wow. And he sees her now and he sees his wife, and even though he loved her very dearly, he's like, I would have missed her. Like I would have, that maybe we would have had a great life together. But he loves his wife now, and being with the 2 women together, he was like, wow, like unanswered prayers. So interesting, because you know, I've been talking to you guys lately about that we really need to get rid of stuff. So I was going through some old books, and a picture of my ex-fiance fell out, and he at the time was the love of my life. No one could tell me different. No one could tell me anything. And to this day, even at 52 years old, I have been with enough people to know, like, you know, this person was significant in another life or another dimension or whatever. So yesterday I was like, just throw it away. And then I found another picture of him in the same book, and I didn't know that those pictures were in there. I didn't even know that. I knew the one was in there because I found it when I was moving, and I just threw it back in there. But I didn't know the second was. And then I like pulled them both out, and I felt like horrible. I felt like sick to my stomach because I was like, it just felt weird, especially the one because I took the picture, and we were at the Rolling Stones concert, and it was just such a great fucking moment. And I was like, I remember that moment, and I was like, I can't throw this picture away. I can't do it. So last night I had a dream about him, and I haven't had a dream about him in I don't even know how long. And he was like bound and determined to get me back. He was like, I want you back. I love you. Like, I still love you all these years. Like, I want you back. And I was like, I'm married now. And we had just watched this episode of a show we're watching where something very similar happened. And I was like, okay, this is kind of wild. And in the end, when I woke up this morning, it's like I woke up to like my husband kissing me and being sweet. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, like literally, like to me, like seconds ago, I was just face to face with him telling me that he was still in love with me. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm married. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I wasn't sure. But then my husband like woke me up kissing me, and I was like, I was so confused. So he got up, and I laid there for a while, and I was like, should I go back to sleep? And anyway, I woke up, and I chose to tell him. I don't know why, but I was just like, I feel like I need to tell him about this. And so I told him everything, the pictures, everything. And I was like, are you okay? Like, he's like, yeah. And like, are you jealous or anything? He's like, nope. And now he's not a jealous person by nature anyway, but I have seen him get jealous in the last few years, actually, because we've had people in our orbit who've, told him to his face, like, I will give her a better life. I want to be with her. If you don't really want her, like, let her go. Like, so I think it's like, he's had to like really like think like, do I want her? Am I meant to be with her? Blah, blah, blah. So it was just a really powerful moment. But then after we started talking and stuff, I felt more comfortable. And once I woke up and I was like back in my world with him, I was like, this is really interesting. And then when he was leaving, I said, I feel I'm drawn to work today. And especially with today being the 13th, and I was born on a Monday, on a moon day, and it's Monday, the 13th. My birthday is December 13th. I was like, I haven't done one of these in a while. I feel like yesterday was Mother's Day. Like if it was supposed to be, yesterday would have been Mother's Day on the 13th. You know what I mean? But there was a leap year. It wasn't meant to be. Because Mother's Day is universal. It's not just like one day for one country. It's like, But anyway, when I kissed him goodbye, I just had goodbye. I had this moment where I was like, no, I would still choose him. Now, I don't know my ex now. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything, whatever. But it was just a really interesting moment. But I've also, with that being said, I've also been pulled to be single. And where I'm living right now, I talked to all these different women on Saturday, and almost every single one of them, the thing they all had in common is that they moved here with somebody, a partner, male or female, it didn't matter. But they moved here with a partner, and they're not with that partner anymore, but they stayed here. And they're like, this is like it's known for it. There's like like two different people that I don't know if they know each other or not, but completely two different conversations in different areas, told me that this area was some type of, they said a name for it in like a vortex. And they're like, yeah. And this place is really, really old. This area is really old. It's old with indigenous medicine, and it's old with like the pioneer, like the settlers medicine too. So it's very, very interesting. There's a lot of witchy energy up here. There's a lot of magic up here. The structure is just, everything is just like really wild. Like I liked being alone on Saturday by myself downtown. Like it was really cool. And I got to see like different parts of it. I saw a part of it I didn't even know existed, which was really cool, which is how I found the store and the farmer's market and all that. And it was just really great. And the farmer's market here is like one of the best in the country, in the top 10, I think, which is a lot considering, I mean, there's like 3 farmers markets just within a stone's throw of where I live, you know what I mean? So that says something. But yeah, it was just like this very interesting thing. So as an empath, I started to realize, the more I was talking to people, by the end of the day, I was like, I want to be single. I came home, I'm like, I want to be single. I don't want to be with you anymore. I just want to be alone. And he was like, okay. Like we'd been like fighting like off and on, and every time before anniversary this always happens. And I feel like it's like spirit, it's like our energies, our higher selves, like challenging us, like, do I really want to be with this person? Do I really want to live in this area? Do I really want to work at this job? Do I really want to talk to these family members, these friends, these people? My heart was breaking yesterday. Of course I can feel my mom. Of course I know my mom. Like, I mean, I don't know her now, but the mom that I knew, the person that I knew was waiting, not sitting there waiting by the phone, but she was hoping, she was hoping this was like the third or fourth Mother's Day that in all of my years that I didn't reach out to her. And I know that it hurts and I'm not trying to hurt her. I just know that I cannot be in her life right now and she cannot be in mine. And that's just the way that it fucking is. And so, it's very interesting. And then even on the farmer's market on Saturday, there was just all this mother stuff that kept coming up over and over and over. It was so wild. It was so wild. And then finally someone's like, it's because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I keep forgetting. So there's just a lot of energy that's going on. So it may feel like the world's on fire, but it's actually like, it's like it's falling into place, but some things have to end. They have to end. They have to end. And I feel like Jesus is coming through, the Christ consciousness energy is coming through to remind us that like we're not alone and that like it's okay. It's okay to let things go. Because as soon as we let these things go, then, the things that are meant for us will come in. So with that being said, it's not that you're not being heard. It's just that there's a reason why that what you want isn't there. Maybe it won't come at all, or maybe it's just not ready yet. It's still cooking, right? It's still in there. You're in the cocoon. You're still in the cocoon. So the healthy thought is, in partnership with the universe, I move through my emotional conflicts and find a peaceful resolution. I really feel like I'm going to put this in the community section because I feel like this is one for like us to like ponder on a little bit more. The next one is the unhealthy thought is, my voice can't be heard. What I have to offer doesn't matter. I mean, they're almost the same, except for interesting that this one is healing sadness 7, and 7 has been coming up a lot. Remember we've been talking about the cycles of 7. So very, very interesting. There's a lot of us that are coming through. There must be some major cycle that's ending. The second card is living in society 5. So change and transformation. So when I was here, people were saying how this place has been all different things, but there's always been this underbelly of magic. There's a lot of magic happening here. So I feel like if people come here with people, the reason why is like, it's not because there's some darkness here that's like, haha, everybody should be single. It's like, no, it's because whatever is here is driving people to go after that. Because do you know what was interesting? That every woman, because it was women, and every woman that I spoke with that was no longer with their partner since they moved there had their own business of some kind. So this could be a message for you. Again, it doesn't matter who your partner is, but it could just be that Spirit's like, it's time to be single. The wild one, reading 1, it was the single, like it said the single, right? Instead of like the album, it's off the single. Because it's an old one from Suzi Quatro from like the 70s. I'm a real wild one. It was her version. I know that there's a lot of versions of that song, but it was the Suzi Quatro version, like a woman's version of like, like she's like, I'm the wild one, So it could be that, maybe you're drawn to that for that reason. But, we cannot become who we're meant to be if other people are tearing us down or tethering us. If we have tethered ourselves to other people, in hopes of like dreams, manifestations, things coming true. But, maybe it's for now, it's that, we all need to focus on ourselves. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I obviously, I love alder. You guys know I love alder so much. My hair is in an oil bath again. I keep doing this because every time I'm going to color my hair, it's like, I'm like, I not freeze, but I'm like, nope, I still haven't settled on a color. So until I do, it's like I wash it, and then when it starts to get kind of oily, then I really put it in an oil bath, but nice oils. Today I had frankincense and a bunch of other ones. Anyway, I digress. But there is something that is going on. And, if you haven't heard Dolly Parton's new song, World on Fire, she did a rock album. There's a long story behind why she did the rock album. Investigate it. But it's also gratitude. Because if we're like, God has it in for me, the universe doesn't hear my voice, and my voice can't be heard, what I have to offer doesn't matter. If we're going at it like that, then yeah, nothing's going to happen because it's all energy. And so if you're putting out energy like, woe is me, like nothing's going to happen for me, then nothing is going to happen for you. If you stay in that mindset, then nothing will. So instead, turn that thought around and say, well, it's not here yet, but I know Spirit's cooking it. I know there's something good coming for me. I saw something recently with this astrologer, and she was talking about how excited she was for the full moon in Sagittarius to come, because she said, you know, Sagittarians are all about optimism, and I'm a triple Sag, my moon's in Scorpio. But everything she said, I was like, it's so true. So, you know, if you can really whatever we need to release and let go, I feel like we're meant to do it by the 23rd, by the full moon in Sagittarius. So in real time, today's the 13th. So that's 10 days away. So we have 10 days to, you know, finally break free of those things. And I think that's what it was. It was like, I didn't want to just throw the picture away. And I'm like, maybe I need to go through and do like a bonfire. Like maybe Alder and I need to go somewhere and like do a bonfire. And I need to like burn all of the things, because I mean, it's not even that. It's like, I'm like, it's such a good picture. It's such a great moment. He's so happy. And I'm like, he is. And if I knew him, I'd probably send it to him. But even so, it's like his past too, right? It was like from 20 years ago, which is crazy for me to think that that was 20 years ago, but it was. It was like 2018, somewhere in there. It was a long time ago. So we need to let go of those things, because if we don't let go of them, then then the good stuff can't come in for us, okay? So on the flip side of the voice isn't heard and what you have to offer doesn't matter, it says, the healthy voice says, my unique voice is an authentic part of the life force that needs to be expressed. Living in Society 5. So, you know, maybe you're like, I'm afraid to be myself because people won't accept me. Yes, they will. Because the right people will. Like all the people that I met here, they were saying that it's really unfortunate because since COVID, they said that it's changed a lot, that it's become more like rich people and the people who don't care and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, and I understand why they're feeling that way. But over time, they will feel that energy. Something drew them here. And something drew me here and Alder here. And I told Alder, I'm like, I'm being totally fucking honest. I love you with all that I am. I said, but if we are meant to be single and we are meant to bring the medicine individually, then that's what we're meant to do. And it will be hard and it will be difficult. And I don't even want to think about it. You know, I can't even throw a picture away of an ex, right? So I can't really think about that right now. But I also know that if it has to happen, it has to happen. Interesting that Penelope came to me in an Apopholite. Look up Apopholite if you don't know the meaning of the Apopholite. It's very important. I just don't have time. And the Lapis Lazuli, she came back to me in that. Look up that as well. And I'll put them in. So you know what I mean? So really, really crazy. It's really crazy. So let me put these in order. I'm going to start to go to the readings. I really hope this helped you in any way. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. Thank you for the support in any way means that you can through prayers, donations. And I mean, a prayer is a donation, but all of my information is in the About section. And yeah, we're going to press on. I'm going to pause right now because I'm going to get these in order because I feel like Spirit wants me to do it that way. So I'm going to start to get ready and I will see you at the pick-a reading. And you know, some people are like, I just watch the whole thing because I feel like I always get something from something. So if you're called to watch all of it, watch all of it. If you're only called to watch one, only watch one. All right, I'll see you there. Welcome, reading one. So right off the bat, I just started feeling super hydrated. The second I sunk into your energy, I felt super hydrated. So dehydrated. So now I'm getting hydrated. I've been saying this a lot. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. Pause it. Go get water. I even listened back to one of my old readings and I listened because it's not me. It's Spirit saying like, we need to stay hydrated. There's a lot going on. And when our bodies, when we get, you know, it messes with everything. I just realized this. Sorry, it's hitting back. Okay. I am really feeling you guys. Let's see what your card is. I'm like, there's so much coming in, but I feel like we don't have a lot of time, so I just need to see what your card is. Okay, so you are the wild one. First of all, if you chose this reading, you are the wild one. It was one of the first songs I heard today, and Suzi Quatro is just so amazing. And if they pull me to, I'll put a link below to her version of it. It's really rad. But anyway, I feel like this unbridled spirit. Like right when I looked up, I saw my witch's tarot and I saw an owl and I just saw like on the cover of the witch's tarot, she's like a witch carrying a torch by herself. And that's kind of how I feel like you guys are. Like you're carrying the torch, you're lighting the way. there's so much going on though, because I'm feeling on one end, I feel like you guys are like, yeah, like you're the cheerleaders, like you're trying to help everybody. But then there's this other side of you where you're just like, you're just feeling really worn down. So let's see what this says. So healthy body one, this makes sense. I didn't look at them either. It's super fun for me too. So our unhealthy thought is my immune system, bones and joints are weak and vulnerable. So right away, I saw Lady Gaga and I saw fibromyalgia. And if you have fibromyalgia, I am just going to warn you right now that if you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. But for those of you who know me, know I don't cut corners. I don't pull punches like the guides that I work with. Part of the reason why I was brought here, 70% of my chart is masculine. I am triple Sag and my moon's in Scorpio. So I am sensitive and loving, but I also like cut to the core because I just don't have time. And obviously you don't either, throat chakra. So people with fibromyalgia are doing it to themselves. I know that's hard to hear, but it's true. And from somebody who made myself sick to stop doing the things that were bad for me, whenever we give ourselves any type, and I'm saying that because it's not like, oh, I have cancer. Oh, poor me. I've had cancer too. It's not like, I mean, a lot of horrible things I had to go through so that I can say to you as a sensitive, loving being, like, I understand, but at the same time, we can't hold on to things, places, energies, things. We've been talking about this a lot. Spirit brought me back onto the magical medium, and this is the third reading in the last week, and I don't know if we're going to keep doing this. The first quarter moon is Wednesday in real time. I'm doing this on May 13th, Monday, 2024. They're always timeless, of course, but if you're watching it in real time, I feel like for some of you, it's because the first quarter moon is right around the corner, and first quarter moons are all about setting your intentions. And it's, they're trying to get you to let go of certain things, because the things that make us physically ill are the things that we do to ourselves. Not setting boundaries, not saying, and that could be a plethora of things in itself, right? Like not saying no, not saying yes, like whatever it is, it's going to be different for everybody. This is a mass reading. But if you're saying my immune system is weak, my bones are weak, my joints are weak, I'm vulnerable, I'm a target, I'm blah, 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 that screams victim. But you're the fucking wild one, man. You're the wild one. You're not a victim. You are the wild one. And Spirit's like, remember who you are, the wildlings. Like, if you guys have not seen Game of Thrones, okay, I know it's really hard for the sensitives and the empaths. I had a really tough time watching it. Most of this was me watching Game of Thrones. Because I can't. As an empath, it's like if somebody gets like stabbed, I'm like, oh, like I feel it, so if you're that person, you may have like put yourself away and you're like, I'm tender, I'm weak, and you've done that to protect yourself, and that's good. That's what you did to protect yourself. This is not a fucking beating of like, or a bash down of like who, whatever. This is Spirit saying you're so much more than you know. You're so much more than you realize. You are a powerful warrior. You're the wild one. If you were drawn to this, why'd you pick it? It's like those saucy librarians, right? I had a friend who was like that. She had her cute little librarian image or whatever. But man, we went out, I saw it, and then she'd be getting freaky and stuff in the bedroom. You can be anybody you want to be. If you didn't watch the collective reading, I highly suggest you go back and watch it. There's a lot of energies here, you guys, because you guys needed this. We all needed this. I've been gone a long time. I needed to take a break. You guys all had to figure your stuff out too. We always have a core of about 30 people who watch my videos. There's at least 30 people. That's in the subscribers, because there are people who aren't subscribers that are watching it too. Sometimes I can feel about 60, 80 people. Sometimes I can feel 100 people. But then it'll say 34 views and I'm like, that's interesting, So but that's cool, because people, they're protecting themselves, and that's totally fine. I love that people subscribe and support, and some don't. But anyway, you guys are going really quickly. I can feel you in my blood and my bones. So it's okay to be vulnerable and a loving kind, passionate, sympathetic, empathetic way, but not in a victim mode. So your healthy thought is now this: I feel safe and secure in the world. I have multiple families who help me feel like I belong. I am supported and have a say. And if you don't have those things, seek them out. That's what I realized when I was recently. It's again, go to the collective reading. I spoke all about it, but my weekend, I had this really cool weekend in this new place I moved. And long story short is that I realized how much I've been longing for community, like true community, because I've met so many fake spiritual people that I just can't anymore. You know, they're like, I'm spiritual, I'm spiritual. And they're like drinking and smoking cigarettes and eating shitty food. And, it's like, as a telepathic empath and medium, it's difficult. I still love everybody no matter who they are, but it's difficult to like, see it what it is and be like, dude, you're just being a victim. Like, I just don't have the time and energy for that. Like, not that I don't want to support it. It's just that I cannot, right? Because it's that old saying, if you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Somebody could be the coolest fucking person in the world, but it's like you can only handle them for like maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And afterwards you're feeling drained or you're feeling tired or just you want to shake something off, right? So be mindful. So those are your messages, Healthy Body 1. And if I'm called to, I will put it in the community section. Actually, I will. I feel like Spirit wants me to. I'm going to put a bunch of these in the community section so that you will have that. And yeah, so look for Healthy Body 1. And I'll put the wild one too so that you remember. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going on to number 2, which is the wedding. The wedding. I have to go because I've got like literally 18 minutes and I got a lot of cards to get through, but I feel like that one was meant, it was like one card. The wild one was like really intense, but it was a good message. Anyway, so here we go. So what do we got for reading 2? So the unhealthy thought is money is the root of all evil and unhappiness. But the healthy thought is true joy and happiness comes from prosperity in many areas of my life. Yes. Healthy joy 4. Okay. Healthy joy 4. So Spirit wants you to work on your joy. They want you to work on your joy. And like in 1, the healthy body, right? If we don't have a healthy body, we don't have a healthy mind. And I do feel like these are interwoven together. It was like almost like a side message for the wild one, but it's like they're all going to like weave in together because we need a healthy body to have a healthy mind, period. And that's why it's like I have no judgment about what people do, smoke, drink, whatever. I'm on cannabis now. It is my best friend. It is a great connector for me in spirit as a medium. But it's interesting. I was talking to somebody about this over the weekend and alcohol, and I was like, well, I just smoke weed. And she's like, yeah, I don't do drugs. And I'm like, it's just so interesting to me that people still think of cannabis as a drug, and it's not a drug. It's not a drug. It's a medicinal plant. Alcohol is medicinal in certain quantities, but if we're getting drunk to dull the pain and to run away from who we are, then, it's like it's serving its purpose for the shadow to go through whatever we need to go through, but we don't want to stay there. So like maybe you have that one friend that you go and you whatever, but then it's like you go back to whatever, but you don't want to stay in certain worlds, because if you stay in certain worlds too long, that's when, and again, it's different for all of you. Everybody's on their own personal path, but I feel like if you chose the wedding, it's like because there's something with money. Okay, so it could be about yourself. This is interesting. Healthy body 2. And interesting, a lot of times I go to the unhealthy thought first, but for this one, they want you to hear the healthy thought first. Healthy body 2. My relationships are true partnerships. I give as much as I get back. I am able to give birth to my creativity in a way in which I get a healthy level of recognition and compensation. Interesting how we're talking about money, prosperity, compensation. That's what I said. I'm like, this feels like a self-love reading. So the wedding, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to marry yourself. Woo! I wasn't sure because this one was from Outlander, and if you're familiar with the show, the picture, it's of Claire like reaching back and Jamie's here, but she's dressed like in the world with Jamie, but you see a hand reaching to her and it's like a modern suit, right? So Yeah. So there's something there. So there's something like there's like an old world. I feel like for you guys there's like an old world that you're like still trying to hold on to. Maybe it's a marriage, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a wedding, maybe you're married to your job, maybe you're married to your family and you're like I can't. Like I have 9 brothers and sisters and 30, nieces and nephews, you know what I mean? And you're like I can't. It's like you have to. I miss my family every single day. I think of them and send them love almost every day. My blood and bone, but I cannot be in their world and they cannot be in mine at this time because I have a mission, I have a purpose. You have a mission, you have a purpose. There's a reason why you're here. So the last one is healthy goals 5. Oh, this is perfect. So interesting how they didn't have me do the quote unquote negative thought. I'll put them in the description box. Okay, we'll put in the not in the description box, excuse me, in the community section. Look for these in the community section and I'll put it under the wedding reading so that you'll know. Okay. But yeah, for some reason I can't, I have to keep going. So healthy goals 5. Now the healthy thought is the only way others can get to know my true self is to talk from my heart. Yes. So if this is you're dissolving some type of relationship, a marriage of some kind, you're tethered, you feel tethered to some people, some places, some things. The only way to do that is from your heart and say, I love you, so and so. I'm speaking from my heart. This is what I have to do for me. Some people won't understand it because the not so great thought is if I say something, I easily get embarrassed and am often misunderstood. Well, then it's time for you to get clarity about who you are and set those boundaries, okay? So we started with healthy joy 4, healthy body 2, and healthy goals 5. Look for those in the community section. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I'll see you next time. And now 3, okay, and 3 is, do you hear what I hear? And it was a cool Christmas tree on the front. Oh, it went instantly to the, what is she calling it? Why can I not remember the unhealthy thought? Thank you, Spirit. Welcome. Do you hear what I hear? The unhealthy thought is if I love someone, it means that it becomes harder for me to speak my mind, especially if I'm angry. This one's a toughie. I understand this one too. I've been there. I understand it. However, the healthy thought is, and it's healthy love number 5, because you have to love yourself first. So the healthy thought is, in a loving relationship, by taking appropriate action and communicating directly, I can transform any troubling situation, problem, or obstacle. Yes, because if you have one side of you that's telling you, if you're telling yourself that it's harder for you to speak your mind, and especially when we're angry, that's the time, I saw something recently that was so healthy. It's somebody that I subscribe to, and I just aligned with this so well because they were reenacting a fight and they were showing what an unhealthy version of it was and what a healthy version of it was, like this. And basically the unhealthy was like, and like really, that's in a nutshell, right? Sorry, I don't have time. I have to, right? But then she showed in a healthy relationship that the person was like, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. That's a lot that just came at me. I'm going to walk away for 5 minutes. Please don't follow me. I'm going to go and try and sort out my thoughts and I will be back. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I just need to sort out my thoughts. And the other person's like, I received that. Thank you. I will do the same. If you cannot have that with somebody on the other end of that, they don't belong in your life right now because they're not where you are. If you're like, if you're recognizing it, my husband and I had a safe word for a while. Butterfly. We had to say it was a safe word when it was getting too ugly because we were just like, we both came from such really unhealthy families and unhealthy relationships and unhealthy love that we had to figure out what healthy love meant. Healthy love number 5, and 5's all about change and transformation. So I'm hearing that for you for the same. I'm going to put pictures of these in the community section, and I'm going to put the title of the reading so that you'll know, so you can look at them further. They'll all be there available for all the readings, but for time and energy, I'm asked to move on. Okay, so the next one is the unhealthy thought. I blame myself for things that go wrong around me. I must be in control. Oh, stop blaming yourself. You know, I mean, I know it's easy for me to say, but I did that too. It's just because most likely if you found yourself here, you're like, you know, the black sheep, as they say, or whatever. You don't have such an easy time with people, you know, and so spirit is like challenging you to, you know, rise above it and say, like, listen, you know, if you're blaming yourself for what's going on around me and you have to be in control of it, it's like, that's manipulation too. You know, sometimes we think, oh, you know, but I love this person. I'm not trying to manipulate them, but I'm trying to, it's like, yes, but that's manipulation. You're taking their power away. You're controlling how it's going to happen, but you really need them to be where they need to be, no matter what situation or who it is. So this is healing sadness number 3, because you know you got to do this, right? Do you hear what I hear? Spirit's like, do you hear what I hear? And for some of you, it could even be that you're a telepathic medium like I am. Or maybe you're just a medium, or an energy. You know, we're all energy, so we all feel things differently. It's just different. But what I'm feeling from you guys is that things are happening as they should around me is the healthy thought. It's like they cut me right off, cut me to the quick, because they're like, because this is it. Things are happening as they should around me. Don't try to control it. You're not God, goddess. Like, you're not the creator. Like, who knows what we are or why we're here or what the fuck or whatever, you know. But the truth is, whatever it is, I know that when I lean more into what feels comfortable for me, the more the world aligns and I'm happy and I'm joyful. But if I put myself around people, situations, and things that I don't feel good about, I'm not going to feel good. I'm not. So it's the same for you. So those are your messages. I love you so much. Listen. Do you hear what I hear? Spirit's like, listen, connect with spirit. The best way for you to do this is to ground and center yourself. And I feel like the last thing they want to say is, it's time to go into hermit mode. If that connects with you right now, it's time to go into, listen to your inner voice. Okay? All right. I love you. See you next time. Okay, so now we're moving on to reading 4, which is, what child is this? Yeah, it was totally right. And like, this is like Christ consciousness. If you didn't watch the collective reading, please go watch that. I mean, it's about what's happening right now. You know, like Dolly Parton is like really feeling like Jesus to me right now. And this like World on Fire and this rock album, it was like she was provoked to make a rock album. And it's cool to, not that it's cool to hear Dolly Parton swear, but it's cool to like see somebody like her that's like, you know, spoke her mind and been who she is, obviously, and we love her for that. But like, I feel like on this rock album, she even got to like really like put herself out there and be like, you know, dirty politician. She's like, wouldn't know the truth if it bit him in the ass. You know, it's like, you don't normally hear Dolly Parton talk about biting somebody in the ass, but it's like, we needed to hear that. And I feel like, interesting. And if you were drawn to 3, do you hear what I hear? I feel like that's weaving in, you guys. For those of you who've been watching the whole thing, yeah, dude, you know, do you hear what I hear? It's like, listen, it's like there are prophets everywhere. So spirit is saying like, what child is this? It could be any person before you that's a prophet. So the first one is the unhealthy thought. My weight is always a struggle. My digestive tract is sensitive to stress. So you're either somebody who's battled with your image, your self-image, particularly what it looks like in a size, or your digestive tract, you have problems with your body because you're so sensitive to the energy. You're empathic, right? So you're feeling all these different energies. We are all a child of spirit, is what I'm getting from God, goddess, Christ consciousness is saying like, we are all the same children. You know, we are all the same person. We are all going through the same things. Also, drink some water. This came up in reading 1 as well. So if you were drawn to reading 1, the wild one, go watch it. But I only have like 5 minutes to get through these cards. So I feel like that's what it is. It's like, I'm here to like just kind of plant the little seeds, or as my birthday sister Taylor says, you know, the little Easter eggs. I'm just here to like, you know, oh dude, and these are in the shape of a fucking egg. And also for some of you, I feel like Mona Lisa artists, like it's really time to work on your art. Okay, so, and I'm hearing the only reason why you're having these problems is because it's all outer shit. Stop listening to what other people say. You are fucking gorgeous and beautiful just the way you are and where you are and how you are. I have literally been from a 00 to a size 22. And I'm not quite 5'3". I have been all over the spectrum at 52 years, so I understand what it feels like to, not know or not feel like you belong in your body. Keep working at it. The more you work on the inside, the more your outside will come together and you'll start to feel like yourself, okay? So that was the unhealthy thought, but the healthy thought is healthy body number 3, because healthy body, healthy mind. And it says, I have healthy self-esteem in multiple areas of my life. I am satisfied with my ability to fit into a family, a relationship, and a career. I feel good about my intellect and my ability to have a voice in the world. Spirit is drawing me to put these in the community section, so I will put them there. Go and check it out. And I will put the title, What Child Is This? So you'll know, just in case you're like, I don't remember but either way, whichever ones you're drawn to, maybe you're drawn to all of them, but keep a screenshot of it, write it down and put it on a Post-it. If you need these affirmations, sometimes we really, really need these positive affirmations. So I have healthy self-esteem in multiple areas of my life. I am satisfied with my ability to fit into a family, a relationship, and a career. I feel good about my intelligence. It says intellect, but interesting. And my ability to have a voice in the world, healthy body 3. And then the next one is unhealthy thought says, I don't know what my personal dreams and life purpose are. I tend to get my joy through my family and friends. No, you're the wild one. You go find your joy on your own. You do not need anybody else but you and you alone. Community is nice, yes, but until you really figure it out, it's okay to feel lost for a while. I verbally was telling people over the weekend, random strangers, I'm like, I feel so lost right now. But I realized also where I'm at, the energy is like that, So be mindful of where you are and what are you bringing into the room. Are you the Pied Piper that's bringing in, good things? Or are you the Pied Piper that's bringing in the shadow? And not necessarily a bad thing, because maybe that's your purpose. Don't be afraid of the shadow, Don't be afraid of the shadow. So the healthy thought is healthy joy 7. 7's been coming up a lot. We're also in a cycle of 7. We're always in cycles of 7s. It's individual, but the earth, there's some big thing going on, even though it's an 8-year. And today is a 13-day, the number of the goddess, which 1 and 3 is 4. 4 is about balance. 8 is about infinity. So for us to have a healthy body, mind, soul, this deck is literally called Mind Body Makeover. And that's what we need right now. We need a mind body makeover. So your healthy thought is, as I pursue happiness through my dreams and life purpose, I give birth to the unrealized potential within me, the unlimited splendor of my soul. I am fulfilling my life purpose by doing this right now. I was really starting to get sad because I was like, well, if I'm not a medium, I'm like, if I'm not a telepathic medium, I don't know what the fuck I am. If I'm not meant to do this, I don't know, but it's because I needed to take that time off. I had to work on myself. I had to work on my marriage. I had to work on everything, my home, everything. Even now, the things that I've been going through have been so intense, and I don't know what's going to happen or where I'll end up, or where, I might be here for a month. I might be here for a year. I don't know. I've been getting these vibes from spirit that I need to keep moving on. So keep listening to the messages, keep taking the signs, and I will put all this information in the community section, and I hope this helped you in any way. I am getting close to the end there. Spirit, do we have any more messages for the collective as we wrap up? Reading 5 technically, but reading 4. Keep on keeping on. Oh, it was so cute, but it was in such a great way. It was in the radiance of Dolly, keep on keeping on, you know what I mean? Yeah, and get Dolly's new rock album, or at least listen to it. It's really amazing. Also, Taylor Swift's new double album is so amazing, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. She is not the second if she's the second coming of anything, it's of the light and the shadow, because we need both to survive. All right, I'm going to get cut off. I love you so much. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Ooh, fun.